Welcome to the WRAL Daily Download. I'm Grace Holland. Durham County is reviewing its taxpayer-funded anti-violence group after an employee was charged with accessory to a murder. Raymond Harwell is the latest but not the first person employed by Bull City United to be charged with a crime. WRAL has reported on 5 arrests in recent years, and now WRAL Investigates Sarah Krueger is putting pressure on officials. Sarah joins me by phone. Sarah, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Grace.
So how does Bull City United work, and how long has Durham been funding that program?
So Bull City United has been around since 2016, getting taxpayer funds first from the city of Durham and now also by the county of Durham. And since it started, its footprint has only been expanding. The program has been growing in geographic region, covering more census tracts in the city and county, and also growing in terms of funding. And the idea of it is based on what's called the cure violence model. It treats violence like a public health issue, like a disease that needs to be cured. And there are groups throughout the nation that also ascribe to this same model, so that it's not unique to Durham. And the idea is that the program hires people who are known as credible messengers, people often who have criminal histories, prior gang affiliations, who can be approachable and also know how to approach these tense and sensitive situations of trying to have dialogue, trying to, show people that there is a better way, try to mediate, try to prevent violence. So the idea is that this group would employ people who used to be involved in that kind of a life and now are reformed, have seen a better way, and can share that way and that message with others.
In previous reporting jobs that I've had, when I worked in the Triad, I remember Winston-Salem and Greensboro were talking about these kind of programs and starting to consider putting those into place. What do we know about the charges that these 5 different workers have been accused of? Because, as you said, in this role, it's sort of supposed to be that they've moved past that part of their life.
Well, so over the years, I've been at WRAL, I guess, since the program started, basically. I started at the station in 2016. And over the years, I've reported on at least 5 members being charged with crimes. And I'll say the way we find out about these charges is not because the city or the county or the group tells us about them. It's not that they, put out some public notice or anything like that, but rather we get tips from people in the community who are concerned and ask us to look into it. And so that's how this reporting originated for me several years ago. And those charges range from gun charges to drug charges, one person accused of leading police on a high-speed chase. Now, most recently with the charges against Raymond Harwell, he's accused of being an accessory to murder, that he helped an accused shooter get away from the crime scene after committing murder, after killing a 19-year-old, Jeremiah Williams, in Durham's McDougald Terrace neighborhood. And I talked to Williams' father, and he's just outraged. He's obviously devastated about the death of his son, but then to know that now an anti-violence worker is among those facing charges, he is really just stunned and wants accountability from the city and the county, since they both give taxpayer dollars to this group.
And in the midst of, these 5 cases that you've covered over the years, have we gotten any sense of whether Bull City has been successful at curbing crime?
We don't. I can remember being in city council meetings and seeing that Bull City United, they occasionally give reports to city and county leaders, about their work, but the reports are very sparse from what I have seen and don't have a lot of concrete data. And that's why I've been asking city and county leaders what they have to go off of to show that this group has been a success in their eyes and to prompt them to continue its funding. And in this latest round of requests, I didn't hear back from a single one of them. But, not just allotting more funding to this group, but also I reported on a few years ago, the county allotted $6 million to buy a building, to buy a property that would house this group among a couple others. So there has been a significant capital investment in this group.
All right, let's take a quick break right there and we'll be right back. Sarah, before the break, you were talking about the millions of dollars of investment that Durham County have put into Bull City United. So, and I know that a lot of your reporting on this has come from tips. How did you find out that this review was going on?
So I reached out to the county a number of times. I've of course done that for all of my stories, reaching out to the city and county over the years. And this latest time I did that again. And through a spokesperson, a county spokesperson, I was trying to get an interview or a statement with the county manager asking about the group's track record, because while the group gets funding from the city and the county, it technically falls under the management of the county. So they are really the direct reports there. And in response to that latest request of mine, I finally got a statement back from the county manager saying that the program will undergo an assessment. I followed up to that, asking for more specifics about it. I'm wondering who will perform that assessment, when it will start, and those are answers I have not gotten yet.
In all of this, have we been able to talk to Bull City United about what's been going on?
No. So over the years, I've tried a number of times to reach out to them and to reach out to their leaders, and I never get any willingness to open up there. So unfortunately, no, I have not been able to hear from them in this. I will say over the years, I have heard from multiple former members of Bull City United who are people who left the group because they were not happy with how it was operating as well. But that is the closest I've gotten to hearing directly about these issues from the members.
And I know you said that you haven't been able to get details on who's going to be doing this review, but do we have any idea how long it might take or what action will be taken after, or any sense of why this isn't transparent?
So all we know from the county manager's statement is there will be findings and recommendations, and those will be presented to county leaders and to the public. And so certainly that's something I will continue to follow very closely, and any report they generate should be public. If it's not made public, I will file a public records request for it, and we will do our best to bring that reporting to the public as quickly as possible.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sarah, and thank you for listening to the WRAL Daily Download. Another great way to get WRAL news is the Morning Briefing newsletter. It's a daily email that's waiting in your inbox every morning with local news, events, and headlines to get you ready for the day. Sign up at WRAL.com/newsletter.